Peace, 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 love, light of healing, peace, love, light of healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in, climb on in. Climb in the building, how y'all feeling, how y'all doing? Let me straighten my camera out. Peace, love, light of healing, y'all. Y'all climb on in. Peace, peace, everybody climbing in the building. We got some very interesting things to go over today. Very interesting case that I want to talk about. Y'all climb in, climb in. Shouts out to all of my YouTube subscribers. Shouts out to all of my Instagram followers. And shouts out to all of my Facebook friends and subscribers. And I want to give a particular shouts out to everybody that's on TikTok sharing all of my information. Like, major shouts out to y'all. I was thinking about starting put up my own videos and making my own videos on TikTok, but y'all copy and chop up my videos so much and put them on there for me. It ain't even no reason for me even posting. You know what I'm saying? Jay keep telling me get on there and go start doing some things on there, but every time I'm finna do something, I look, y'all sharing all my stuff from here on there. So, hey, thank y'all for that, man. I appreciate y'all a lot. Today I want to talk about some particular cases. We're going to go over extreme acidosis and just show how living just many years of acidic lifestyle, how you have to pay for it. So y'all climb on in. We're going to get it started. Don't worry about the number of people in the building. You know they shadow banning me on a worldwide level, y'all. I'm getting shadow banned on every single platform, but we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. So if y'all can hear me well and if y'all can see me well, type in some nines. We're going to get straight into this. And right now this level is labeled extreme acidosis, blowback, and how it's killing the human body. But once we get done with this particular case, I'm going to name the title exactly how she have written her case out. So if y'all ready and if y'all can hear me and if y'all can see me, type in some nines. For all of my healers out there that love learning and that's trying to become herbalists and healers of the mind, body, spirit, and soul, make sure that you got your pens and your pads ready and we're going to dive right into it. All praises, all praises. Okay. All right, so it says, good morning, Mr. Yaki. I'm reaching out to you for help of my mother's on my mother's behalf regarding 3 autoimmune diseases. So you already know right off back that I do not subscribe or I do not believe in autoimmune disease. For one, I don't believe in an immune system. I believe that if there was an immune system, that the immune system would be a part of the lymphatic system. When they talk about what makes up the immune system, they talk about T cells, they talk about B cells, thymus cells, bone marrow cells. They talk about lymphocytes. They talk about phagocytes. They talk about macrophages. They talk about all these things that make up the so-called immune system. But when you really start studying these particular things that make up the so-called immune system, we see that they're part of the lymphatic system. So whenever I hear autoimmune, I automatically hear stagnated lymphatic system. Whenever somebody try to push that on you because it don't exist, just automatically know that the lymphatic system is stagnated and she's not getting rid of the cellular metabolic waste that she's producing, and her kidneys and her adrenals are not working right, and that's the reason why the lymphatic system is backed up, and now the body is starting to express fontanelles, or what you'll call an alternative route of elimination. This elimination of the body is eliminating improperly, because proper elimination is when the metabolic waste and the acids and all these blowbacks and the metabolic waste actually go through the kidneys or come through your colon out through your poop. And if it don't go them 2 ways, then you're going to have symptoms. For instance, if it go through the skin and you get rashes, the rashes start to itch. Sometimes the rashes burn. If it try to come up and come out of your mouth, sometimes it brings up acid reflux, or sometimes it brings up bronchitis, and the mucus starts to build up in the esophagus or the respiratory system. So if it's trying to eliminate in an improper way, because the 3 proper ways of elimination is through the kidneys and adrenals by way of urination. The second one is by you sweating, perspiring, sweating these metabolic toxics out through your skin. And then last but not least, the third one is when you're actually sitting down on the toilet and you're defecating or you having a bowel movement. Those are the 3 natural ways of elimination. Anything other than that is going to burn, it's going to hurt, and you're going to get symptoms. And then and they call the symptoms of your body trying to cleanse itself diseases and autoimmunes and all this other bull crap that really don't make no sense. So again, she said she got 3 autoimmune diseases. We know that there's no such thing as there's no such thing as the immune system, so we could tell that she have a lymphatic stagnation. It says she was recently diagnosed with lupus. Lupus is one of them. Lupus is made up. They're in these doctors. They don't know what they talking about. They're not diagnosing or prognosing these people properly. So they're giving them names that don't even match the symptoms. When you look up what lupus is when the so-called immune system start attacking the cells in the tissues that make up the cells, or the cells that make up the tissues. But the only thing that burns cells, like for instance, let's look up lupus. Look up the symptoms of lupus and let's see pictures of them, right? Check this out. Check this out, y'all. I just want to show y'all how this stuff go. Lupus, autoimmune disease, pictures. Check this out, family. So look, these are pictures of people with lupus. Notice that the skin is in an acidic state. The skin is starting to take a poop, and not only is the skin taking a poop, but when the skin do take a poop, or when the skin do defecate because the kidneys and the adrenals are not working properly, what happens is the acids that's inside of the poop starts to burn the skin. So you get face rashes and stuff like that. Let's look at more stuff. Look at the back rashes. See that? And notice what they call it. SLE, systemic lupus. Systemic. That's because you have a systemic acidosis going on. This is deep cellular acidosis, and the body is not eliminating itself properly by way of kidney filtration, so your skin starts to take the poop, which is nothing wrong with your skin doing that. That's what you perspire and sweat for. But when you perspiring and sweating out acids, the burn is going to come with it, and then you get stuff that look like this. Let's see if we can find another picture. Now check this one out when you go into systemic lupus. Look at all the itises that's associated with this diseases. This don't sound like an autoimmune to me because there's no such thing as an immune system. So you got itises, got pneumonitis, you got hemorrhaging, you got hair loss, you got high fever. For one thing, what loses your hair? When you go to a leukemia ward and you go to a cancer ward and you see the little 2-year-olds walking around, notice their heads are completely bald. Why are they losing their hair? They're losing their hair because of the chemotherapy treatment. Then you start looking up the ingredients of chemotherapy. It is mustard gas derivative, meaning that it's extremely acidic. So acids is what make you lose your hair. So we can tell that acids is coming out on the skin, which is giving you the rashes, burning up the skin. Now we see that hair loss, which is actually acids burning your hair. Then it comes with high fever. We know that the body throws itself into a high fever to bring in circulation for the goodies can go through the bloodstream and drop all the phytonutrients and everything that you need for healing modalities to the specific site that's actually inside of the body. Now it says abnormal headaches. Check this one out, y'all. Abnormal headaches. Now we already know that headaches come from what? The transverse colon being backed up systemically. The transverse colon is called, look, it's literally called lymphatic pressure, lymphatic fluid pressure. When you have too much lymphatic fluid building up inside the transverse colon, that it starts building up, and then the sinus cavity get filled up with this lymph fluid, or what we're going to call mucus, and the pressure from that mucus being in the sinus cavity, because there's no difference between cholesterol, there's no difference between mucus, and there's no difference between lymph fluid. So all of that fluid is being built up in all the cavities. Now it's overpressurized, and that's where you get the headaches and the migraines from. Notice all this is still talking about what? Systemic acidosis. Now it's talking about butterfly rashes and red patches, extreme acidosis, inflammation of the fibrous sac, extreme acidosis, severe abnormal pain in the abdominal area. Again, extreme acidosis, muscle and joint aches and pains, and arthritis. Extreme acidosis again. So what we looking at is an acidic side of chemistry. We're not looking at an autoimmune disease. Everything that we're talking about happens when you're on the acidic side of the spectrum and you're not on the alkaline side of the spectrum. So we already know by reading her case, we got 3 so-called autoimmune diseases that don't exist. Then the first one she named is lupus. And then we see that lupus is nothing but extreme systemic acidosis. Then it's another one she said, which is called scleroderma. Scleroderma. We know that derma actually means skin. Sclero mean the tightening or the drying of. So scleroderma mean the tightening or the drying of her skin. Now again, just talking, y'all. Heat constrict things. Heat is what disintegrate things. So we know that acids is what's drying her out. Now, the only thing that pulls the water and dehydrate the body is acidic foods, acidic drinks, or having acidic acidosis sit on top of the cells. So now we see that her skin is becoming calcified. And the reason why her skin is tightening up and becoming calcified is because calcium is released by the parathyroid whenever you have extreme acidosis, for the mucous membrane can respond. Whenever the mucous membrane responds to acidosis, what sits inside of the mucus is something called calcium monotriphosphate. So calcium is going to mix with uric acid, mix with all of the different acids that your cells are breaking down. This stuff called crystallized acid. Now crystallization set in place, and this is what you call calcification. So her skin is calcifying and tightening up because all the water is being drawn, or H3O is being drawn out of her tissues, because she have to confiscate for all the acids that's building up in the body. Remember, the lymphatic system act as the fire extinguisher for the acids or the fire or the inflammation that's inside the body. So now we see that her skin is tightening up and starting to calcify because the calcium is trying to put out all the different acidosis that's systemically blowing back in her body because her kidneys and her adrenals are not online. All right. So, and we're going to have to check the thyroid for that. Then the next one was Sjogrens disease. And then when you look at what Sjogren's disease or Sjogren's syndrome is, it's the dryness of the eyes, it's the dryness of the mouth, and it's the dryness of the skin. Everything is dry, 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 dry. What dries the body, y'all? I got a question for y'all. Does alkaline dries the body out, makes the body dehydrated, or do the acidic side of chemistry, the narlic acid side of chemistry, acidosis dry out the skin? Which one? Let me know, y'all. Is it the acidic side of the nature, or is it the alkaline side of nature? It's the acid side. So now we see, not only do she got dry eyes, she got dry mouth, she got dry skin. Her skin is so dry and that it's calcifying and tightening up and swelling. You see that? And she got extreme acidosis where the acids is eating each individual cell inside of her body, but they saying it's lupus and the autoimmune is eating and attacking the cells. The autoimmune ain't attacking the cells. The phagocytes and the lymphocytes and all the different T cells and B cells are there to actually get rid of the acids, and the bacteria trying to eat the acids, but it's acids covering the cells and covering everything in the body. So they eating the acids, and while eating the acids, they just so happen to be eating and chewing away at the cells too, because the cells are extremely acidic. You see that? That's all it is. That's all it is, y'all. This is extreme acidosis. It says the organs must currently the organ most currently affected is her liver. So now she have liver issues too. So she got extreme acidosis plus she have affected liver. It says after a biopsy, they diagnose her with biliary cholangitis. It says my is a single. I guess she's saying my mama is a single. My mama is a single mother who have always tried to take care of herself for my sake. She have never drank alcohol, but her liver is of an alcoholic. Now, what could that be? Now, whenever you eat food, your food break down into alcohol. The food break down into monosaccharides, or what you call sugars. These sugars are what you'll call monosaccharides, where it's either going to be fructose, glucose, or galactose. If you're eating the wrong type of sugars, it's going to be sucrose. It's going to be maltose. Remember that? Maltose liquor? See that? So the fermentation of sugars is what creates alcohol. See that? So she's eating either too many fermented foods, or the food she eating is not breaking down right because her digestive system has been compromised and fermentation is taking place inside of her duodenum, which is this small intestinal tract, and she's not absorbing it. So now all this alcohol is being produced and it's penetrating and burning the cells. It's becoming a actual solvent of what you call chemistry. Whenever chemistry is produced in the body, it automatically goes to the chemical factory of the body, and the chemical factory of the body is the liver. So right off back, I know that she's so systemically backed up, and acidosis is so much in her body that she's not absorbing her phytonutrients, nor is she absorbing any sugar in her bloodstream by way of the blood capillaries inside of her duodenum. And these sugars are fermenting. This fermentation is turning to alcohol, and this alcohol is penetrating and burning the cells. And now, in order to compensate from that, the liver and the bowel is pulling all of the alcohol alcohol towards the liver, and fatty acid and corrosiveness of the liver is starting to set up due to her lymphatic system being backed up and her digestive system not working properly. Her hydrochloric acid inside of her stomach is not high enough to break down these foods into the basically the microphytonutrients needs for that absorption. Lymphatic stagnation, and also you got these mucinoid plaque built up inside of the gut, so no absorption is happening. Now you got fermentation, and all fermented sugar is alcohol. The body needs alcohol. Without alcohol, you would not have insulin. Insulin is what take glucose into the cells, for the cells can fire off something called ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate is actually used as energy or vitality to the cell. You see what I'm saying? So that's exactly what's going on. The body needs natural alcohol. The body creates natural alcohol all the time because that's the only way you can penetrate the cells and bring the cells goody and phytonutrients for the cells can eat and digest. Her problem is her cells is eating and digesting, but the digestion is not moving because she's backed up systematically or systemically by the acidosis. So the fermentation is sitting on top of the cells, burning the cells, fermenting the cells, and we see what happens to wine is left out and with the bottle off and letting oxygen and hydrogen hit it. You start getting mold spores. Not only do you get mold spores, but the spore starts turning to fungus and things like that start happening because the alcohol is not being utilized. So unutilized alcohol in the body immediately goes to the liver because the liver acts as the chemical factory of the body. And now she have a liver as if she's an alcoholic and she ain't never drank alcohol in her life. See that? So this all is about what we've been putting in our mouths. Everything that she's talking about is the environment and the food she's been eating. She haven't been eating food that's conducive for her healing. She haven't been eating food that's going to cleanse out her cells, that's going to break up coagulation and agglomulation. She haven't been eating the food of alkalinity. That's what's going on with her. And that's why we see so many people with cirrhosis of the liver and they say, well, I ain't never drunk alcohol. Well, that's because your food's supposed to break down to alcohol because alcohol penetrates the cells to drop off the goodies and the phytonutrients and the biophotons and the bioflavonoids that you get from your food. You see that? So when anytime you check your liver and you see that you have a highly fatty processed liver, or what they say LDL, high cholesterol and stuff like that, that means that you're improperly combining your food. You're either eating too many fermented foods or you're not absorbing when you're breaking down your food and the alcohol is being left behind and then the alcohol starts to burn the cells. If y'all get that so far, type in some nines. Let me slow down too, y'all. Y'all know I get passionate. I start talking fast. If y'all get that so far, type in some nines. Folks associate the liver with alcohol when it's not the only cause. Facts, Terry. Facts. Most of the cirrhosis of the liver, I would say 65% don't even have nothing to do with alcohol. Most of the studies that we show when people have liver failure, they don't even drink alcohol at all because your body produces a natural, adequate amount of it every single day because without your body producing this natural alcohol, it will be impossible for your cells to absorb any type of phytonutrients. That's called cellular infusion. That's what fructose do. That's why fructose don't need insulin. You eat a fruit right now, it don't even need the pancreas because the alcohol that it produced from the fermentation will automatically infuse all the phytonutrients that you need within inside of the cells. And then the alcohol that you don't utilize goes to the liver. Period. Yeah, I know y'all, they not going to show y'all any type of notifications of mine no more. I'm being shadow banned on a very, very, very massive level, y'all. So it is what it is, though. I'm going to show you how to get rid of this, though, sister. It says, we never knew what was causing such damage to her liver tissue until now. Although other parts of her body is being affected, like her sight and stiffness in her whole body. What causes stiffness? Stiffness is coagulation. Stiffness is agglomulation, how you locked up, how you bound to your body, how you bound to your nervous system. What calls out that drying effect? Acids. That's what acids do. Notice, have you ever heard of something called cellular welding? When you put fire to two pieces of metal, it binds them together. It binds them. Or you burn something and it melts and then you leave it alone, then it get hard as a rock. That's systemic acidosis. Everything that you're talking about is acids. Stiffness. You see that swelling? That's acids. Swelling, that's acids. You see that? A water containing, when your body starts getting so, all this edema start kicking in. That's water being poured from the cells to compensate the acids. So now you got big ankles, swollen legs, swollen arms, swollen thighs, swollen feet, swollen toes. This is systemic acidosis, man. Everything we're talking about is acidity, literally. It says, we never knew, I read that, although the parts of her body are being affected, like her sight and stiffness, sight. Now, when we go out the sights, dry eyes, extreme acidosis, plus you got mucus building on the back of the optic nerve, and it starts messing with your sight, because remember, you're backed up interstitially. When you get backed up like that from that transverse colon, the last thing that's going to fill up is the sinus cavity. If the sinus cavity sits right behind the eyes, and it fills up with mucus, once the sinus cavity start to spill the mucus out, what's the first thing that it's going to hit? It's going to hit the eyes. So now I got all this mucus built up on the back of my optic nerve, and now I got cataracts, I got glaucoma, my vision is blurry. Your vision ain't blurry. You got mucus on your iris that you need to cleanse and pull from up out of the eye. And then your vision will start coming back. All that blurriness will start leaving. And remember, when the body is dry and when the body is in a state of dehydration and acidosis, mucus is going to come and try to save the day. Mucus is not the cause of disease, y'all. It's not. The cell lacking oxygen is the cause of disease. And the cells lacking oxygen is because acids is burning up the oxygen molecules on the cell. Mucus come to save the day. Mucus is the good shit. That's what we need mucus for. Inside of mucus, you have calcium monotriphosphate. Inside of mucus, you have all these different types of monosaccharides. You have monosugars inside of there. Inside of mucus, you have the T cells. The T cells is actually created inside the thymus gland. The T cells, you have the B cells, which is the bone marrows. All these things is inside of the mucosa membrane. So when mucus is coming to save the day. This is where your macrophages at, your basophils, your neutrophils, your monophils, your white blood cells. Everything is inside of the mucous membrane, and it's supposed to protect the body from the outside external environment. What's happening is mucus is constantly responding because it have all these different protective additives in it to come help you and save the day, but you never stop taking in the acidosis food that you're eating, so mucus is constantly building up and constantly building up. When calcium and mucus and acids collide, it creates calcification. That just makes the disease worse. But the mucus was there to save the day. You just never changed your diet into a livid. So we have to get out of the mindset that mucus is the cause of all disease. No, it's not. Mucus come to save the day. You cannot even survive without a mucous membrane. Without a mucous membrane, you would die and be attacked by so many things. The mucous membrane is literally to protect this hollow tube inside of your body called the digestional tract. The digestional tract starts from your mouth and it ends at your anus. This is not a part of your body. The hollow tube or the digestive system is still outside of your body. You just think it's inside of your body because you have to go in to get there. But the only way to even get anything that you eat and digest into the bloodstream or inside of the body is by way of this small intestinal tract called the duodenum, and it goes through the body through something called blood capillaries. Other than that, the whole entire digestive system is a part of the external environment. It's not a part of the internal environment. The only way you get in is if it breaks through the mucus, blood, and barrier system. That's way by blood capillaries, and that's in that small intestinal tract that's connected to the that's connected to the jejunum, and that's connected to the stomach. That's where all the absorption and other than straight penetration or you taking alcohol in the mouth and it's absorbent in the bloodstream in your mouth, the only way something is going to get inside of your cells is by way of the blood capillaries that's inside of the duodenum of the stomach. Period. Point blank period, y'all. So we see that mucus is not the problem. Mucus is a defense system. The reason why you have so much mucus is because you need that much mucus to defend, because you have all these acid and acidic environments going on within inside of your body. That's the issue. That's the issue. All right. It says, man, this is crazy. It says stiffness in our whole body because the face due to the overproduction of collagen. Well, collagen is overproducing because the thyroid is off. And that's the reason why everything is calcifying, because your thyroid and your parathyroid is calling parathyroid and parathyroxine is constantly calling from the blood supply and telling the blood supply to go and bring calcium into the bloodstream because you have so much acidosis going on. You see that? So you need some mucus. You need more than some mucus. Hell yeah. Without mucus, you would die. It's impossible to survive with a mucus-less body. Now, it makes sense to be on a mucus-less diet, though. You're supposed to be on a mucus-less diet because you don't need more mucus than what you already got. But you cannot survive without mucus. That's where the mucous membrane is your so-called immune system. The mucous membrane is the lymphatic system. The mucous membrane is your LDL cholesterol system. Without mucus, you won't have LDL cholesterol. You won't have cholesterol. You won't have a lymphatic system. You won't have lymphocytes. You won't have phagocytes. You won't have neutrophils. You won't have a white blood count. You won't have basal fields. You won't have monosaccharide sugars that give you ATP. You won't have the conversion of carbon. You won't have none of this without mucus. You won't have none of this. You need mucus. The thing is, the overproduction of mucus is what's smothering the cells, and the cells is already deprived of oxygen. So the smothering of more mucus on top of a suffocating cell, plus calcification from the calcium and most of the vital minerals that's inside a mucous membrane, it kills the cells more. You see that? It kills the cells more. It's like an overprotective mama. Sometimes too much protection is bad for the son. And that's what the big mama lipid system or the mucus system does. It's too overprotective. So the moment that you eat something, you have that mucosal response. If you don't change that into an alkaline diet to subside or neutralize the mucus, then too much mucus production come in. And now the problem is even worse. But mucus is a defense. It's impossible to survive without mucus. You need it. That's why so if you look at fetal tissue and you get into embryology and how the embryology starts off as a zygote, and from this zygote it turns into these three different cells. You have the mesoderm, which is the inner cells. You have the ectoderm, which is the outer cells that create your skin and your brain, and then you have the endoderm. The endoderm is what creates all of your internal organs. This all springs from something called a primitive gut tube in embryology. Guess what's the three first things that's created when a fetus is created? The nervous system, which come from the sperm of the father. You see that? The primitive gut tube, which come from the mother. And then not only that, you have the mucosa sac. The mucosa sac. You ain't even 5 days old yet. And guess what you got? A mucosa sac. Why do you have a mucosa sac then? Because you need to start growing the lymphatic system and the lymph nodes. There is no difference, y'all. See, look, the allopathic community want to play this game with y'all like there's a difference between the mucosa membrane, a mucus response, the lymphatic system, the so-called immunological system, and the cholesterol system. It's all the same shit. Scientifically, just look it up. Just look it up. But notice that though, the nervous system, the primitive gut tube, and the mucosa sac, all is created when the baby is first starting to form itself into an embryo fetus. Why is these three things the first things that's created? Then you notice all disease come with a compromised mucosal membrane. All disease come from a compromised gut, which is the primitive gut tube. And then we realize that the nervous system communicates with all the cells that make up the primitive gut tube and all the cells that make up the lymphatic system. You see that? So when you really start seeing what disease is, it's attacking the three main things that we have to start off with before we even get a damn heartbeat. Nervous system, primitive gut tube, and the mucosa sac, which creates the lymphatic system. That's what I'm saying. We got to rewrite the textbooks, man. We got to sit down and we really got to get deep into our studies and deep into our clinical trials. Clinical trials meaning you're in the field and you're practicing, you're observing, and you're looking at the body. You're seeing how mucus act. You're seeing how pathological entities like parasites act. You're seeing the microbiome and what it does. You're seeing the absorption factor and the intake. We have to get into our clinical trials. It's time to stop listening to what everybody else tell us, and it's time to start taking the information and researching these things and then putting into clinical trials and practices ourselves. And you will see that a lot of stuff that we have been teaching, it's time to elevate the information because it wasn't so quite right. And these are just the facts of the matter, y'all. All right. It says, please, any guidance to help regenerate the liver and to get rid of all the diseases before they begin severely affecting other organs as well. Not sure if you need to know about my family history. Only her sister had lung cancer. I don't believe in passed down genetic disposition diseases for real. I believe in passed down diets. You know, you do have some genetics that's passed down, like sickle cell anemia. You got a few more, but like other 98% of the diseases is not genetics at all. It's you passing down traditions and you passing down ceremonial, ritualistic sacrifices and eating of meats, eating of shitterlings and all this other crazy slavery madness nonsense that our ancestors had to eat because they had no choice. And now you have a choice, but you still choose to eat this crappy ass food, and then you letting your children eat the same thing, so y'all getting the same diseases from the food. So I don't believe in genetic diseases. I believe in food related diseases. You're passing down that same damn tradition. And that tradition is killing us, y'all. It really is. Because we live in the tradition and the culture of another people. Notice when the Chinese man come over here, he ain't gonna eat unless he see China on the plate. Matter of fact, he'll come over here and he'll come over here and get a government loan, create an international supermarket, and then get all his food shipped into this motherfucker. Straight up. Get all his food shipped into this deal, and then he'll start eating. And not only that, he'll start selling you the food from his culture. You see that? Let's not talk about the Italians that come over here from Italy, that get a loan from the government. They open up a whole Italian restaurant and an Italian supermarket, and until they food get here, see, they identify with food and culture. We're the only people not making that identification. We the only people that don't connect the dots when it comes to culture and food. And that's the reason why we're into everybody else's culture and eating everybody else's food. See that? Because you don't know your culture, because you don't know your true identity as Aboriginal Americans, Aboriginal Africans. You don't understand who you truly are as Hebraic Israelites, as ancient pharaohs. So you can't identify with that. So you don't associate with the food that they used to eat before starch and fats and meats was introduced to their diet by these same people that's killing us right now. See that? So until you are able to make the cultural connection to your food, we're going to be in the same position we in every day. Don't no other race or ethnicity of people come to America without bringing a food. Only people that have done that is the so-called Negroes. We're the only one that come here and don't bring our food. Everybody else bring their own clothes, bring their own food, bring their own music, even bring their own damn language. You the only person here that's speaking English. You the only person here that's eating everybody else's food and celebrating everybody else's culture and traditions. Think about it. Halloween, that's not of African descent. Christmas, that's not of African descent. The Bugs Bunny and the Easter and all this other bullshit, that ain't got nothing to do with your culture or with your true history. And these things is keeping us further away from ourselves. And the further we get away from self and self-love, the more we annihilate ourselves and kill ourselves by eating things that are not good for our body and that don't assimilate with our geogenetic biochemistry makeup. And these are just the facts of the matter. I know this might piss a lot of people off, but hey, it is what it is. And look, and you know how I know this is true? Look at all these damn questions about people dying of health. This, you know what I'm saying? This clinical trials. This how I know this true. All of these questions. People are dying because people don't know what the fuck to eat. Why don't you know what to eat? Because you have been taught to eat bullshit. I done got mad, Jay. Let me burn my sage. Burn some sage around here. Where my crystal knife at? Let me cut any emotional attachments tonight with my clear quartz knife. Let me cut it off. Let me cut off any low thought form frequencies that's coming into my aura field right now. Let me cut that off real quick. Boy, I just get very passionate and angry when I start really, because it's crazy how this witchcraft, this pharmacia, or this sorcery have been poured on our people, man. It's just crazy. So let me cut the cords real quick. Let me cut them on, stab them real quick. All praises. All right, now let's talk about how to get rid of this issue. Okay, so the first thing she was talking about was lupus. We understand that lupus is extreme acidosis. So how do you get rid of extreme acidosis? You have to go on the other side of chemistry. The other side of chemistry of acid is base. Base chemistry is alkaline. All right, so we have to understand the proportions of the body. So the cells was made of deoxyribonucleic acid. That's DNA. You have hydrochloric acid that's inside of your stomach sac. Anytime you eat things, it takes acid to break these things down. And the byproduct of the phytonutrients that you need for the goodies of the cells have an acidic blowback, or what you call an acid ash. No matter what you put in your mouth, it's going to have an acid ash that's left over on the cells. So we see that most of the body is half acidic and then the other half of the body is alkaline. But if you look at the functioning of the body and all the cells, even the cells, the body is made of 150 trillion cells. Each cell is at a 6.4 on the potential hydrogen scale. So that means even your cells naturally are slightly acidic. So your cells are slightly acidic. The DNA, A stands for acid, or DEA, etheric acid, is still damn acid. That's acidic and that makes up your cells. Then you have amino acids, arginine, L-lysine, tyrosine. These are what makes and stick the cells together. They call these compound amino acid structures. This is what makes up protein. So these are acids. So your skin is made of acids. Your cells are made of acids. Your pee is slightly acidic, which is acidic. The food that you eat, whether it's alkaline or not, breaks down and have an acid blowback and the DNA, or the information that makes up each cell and give the cells its instructions, is acidic. So the body is more acidic than it is alkaline. The only thing that is alkaline inside of your body is the blood. The lymphatic system is acidic. Is alkaline. The bloodstream is alkaline. Then you have amylose, and you have trypsin, which is alkaline enzymes that's produced by the mouth. That's 4 things that's in your body that's alkaline. Everything else that makes up your body is acidic. Everything else. So we even have to change the way we talk about alkaline and acids. That's total bullshit. My body is made of 66% acids, then the rest is alkaline. And that's including the blood and the lymphatic system and these 2 little enzymes that's released from my mouth, or what we call the salivary glands. And that's amylose and trypsin. Look it up if y'all think I'm lying. The body is more acidic than it is alkaline. So if that's the truth, which it is, and I can prove this time and time again, that means everything that we need to eat, even your semen is not alkaline. Your semen is acidic. Estrogen is acidic. You see that? Estrogen is acidic. Progesterone is alkaline. Testosterone, which makes up seminal fluid that sits inside of the prostate that gives you semen, that shit acidic as hell. Look, it's called a germette. All germs are acidic. So even your sperm is acidic. There's no such thing as alkaline sperm. Even your sperm is acidic. Even your sperm. Testosterone, which make up sperm, is an acidic enzyme hormonal chemistry. You see that? Pregnenolone is acidic. So even when you start getting into your sexual hormones, but that makes sense because they're created by LDL cholesterol. Cholesterol being converted by the sun is what makes up your actual sexual reproductive hormones. I bet a lot of people don't know that. Your cholesterol is what makes up pregnenolone, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. That comes from the cholesterol being converted to vitamin D3 and vitamin D12 when you sitting outside in the skin and your melanin sites are eating the sun, and it's taking the sun through ultraviolet rays light and converting these things over into this sexual chemistry. This is all an acidic process because you're moving. You have to realize this is called biochemistry. Biochemistry meaning the living behavior of atoms, of elements. The movement of this, the product, the breaking down, this shit is hot. It takes a lot of work and energy to do this. So when you burn energy, it leaves back a residence. This residence or residue is what you call acid ash. Period. You can't get around this shit. Y'all can try to come with whatever information you want. You're not fucking with me in biochemistry. Nobody on planet Earth is. Y'all can't prove me wrong. I promise you can't. This has been validated by the laboratories. And I'm saying this to say that, y'all, if this is true, which it is, so the living life of the body is alkaline. That's the blood and that's the lymphatic system. The functionality of the body is all in acids. So the only way to bring ma'at or to bring balance is by having an all alkaline diet. Anything lower than an alkaline diet, you're going to over acidify the body. And this is where all the diseases is coming from, because you already have too much acids in your body because your body was created in fucking acids. Amino acids. Deoxyribonucleic acid, deoxyetheric nucleic acid, hydrochloric acid, uric acid, urea acid, carbonic acid, phytic acid. Look, I'm sweating under my armpits right now, y'all. I ain't eating nothing, I ain't drunk no water, nothing. You know what this called? Just by me living my everyday life and talking, I'm burning energy. Guess what this byproduct of the energy is burning? Lactic acid. Y'all see that? Lactic acid. In its natural state. So in your natural state, you are more acidic than you are alkaline. So stop it with all this alkaline acid bullcrap. Now, the thing is to bring the body into a balance of homeostasis, or in our ancient culture, we call it ma'at. And the only way you're able to do that that's if you start eating a all alkaline diet, because the acid is already against your ass. You already made with too many of them. Only thing you do is bring that balance up. And how you bring that balance up is starting to eat more alkaline foods. So if you have a predominantly alkaline diet, now you have an alkaline liver, now you have alkaline blood, now you have an alkaline lymphatic system, now you have alkaline enzymes called amylose and trypsin. You see that? And then you got alkaline glands that's producing mucus inside of the body. Now we evening out. Now we're even to the deoxyribose nucleic acid, the deoxyetheric nucleic acid, the amino acids. Now we bring it in balance. So now we don't have an overacidic body because we're bringing in an alkaline liver or diet to bring the balances. And when you're in a balance of homeostasis, the meridian pathways, or what we call the lymphatic vessels, can open themselves up and energy can flow properly. When energy flow properly, it flows with ease. So since it flows with ease, that means you are not at dis-ease. Hold it, that was a gem, y'all. See that? So now since I brought balance in, my meridian pathways and my lymph vessels can open up properly and flow with ease. Since this energy blockages is not blocked anymore, now I done heal myself of dis-ease. Get it? Man, that was some daggers right there. Hold on, man. Let me burn some more sage. Burn some more sage up in here, Jay. Hey, you notice that happened after I used my knives and I cut them demonic entities down. You know what I'm saying? Got the daggers up in the building. All praises, all praise. If y'all got everything I just said, type in some nines and we're gonna keep it going. I want to show how to get rid of this though. Cause y'all know I could talk all day. I know I know it's taboo. I know you ain't never heard no knowledge like that. I understand you've been taught a certain way. But I mean the body is made of acid, y'all. It is. I mean, you can't get rid of it. You can't. You can eat an apple right now. Guess what's going to come from that apple? Carbonic apple, because you're eating apple. Apple is fructose. Fructose break down into carbon. The burning of carbon creates carbonic acid. Period. I mean, it's carbohydrates. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. When this shit is being used as fuel, the fuel is going to burn a residue. This residue is acidic, whether you like it or not. So even when you eat alkaline foods, the alkaline food leave an ash. The ash burns. The good thing about alkaline foods is it turns the adrenals and the kidneys on. See that now the adrenals can actually commit and start producing acetylcholine and acetylcholinesterase. These hormones and these melanin neurotransmitters open up the kidneys for filtration. So now even though you eating these fruits and these fruits still leave back an ash, it's still opening up your lymphatic system, which opens up your kidneys. Now you're able to filtrate all the metabolic waste that you have been building up in your body because your cells are miniature. You and your cells have to eat and poop just like you do. So when you feed the cells alkaline chemistry or base chemistry, it keeps the system hydrated and it keeps shit flowing and it keeps energy flowing. That's it. That's literally how it works. That's literally just how it works. All right, so the first thing is the lupus. Lupus is extreme acidosis, so you need to be on the alkaline side of chemistry. You need to not be eating anything that is mucus or pus forming. Anything that is acidic forming, you don't need to be eating. So eat things that's going to open up the meridian pathways. Eat things that's going to hydrate the body, break up coagulation and agglomulation. The things that's going to do that in your case is nothing but fruits. I wouldn't play around with phytic acids, which is beans. I wouldn't play around with nitrates, which is vegetables. I wouldn't play around with none of that. Notice, vegetables, your alkaline vegetables produces something called nitrates. Who going to talk about that? Who gonna talk about that? Your grains, your spelt, your quinoa, your fennel, your fano, all of that produces carbonic acid. Who is gonna talk about that? Like, we need to start really talking about these things. It's not about the acid it produces. It's about, is your system, the food you eat, is it opening up your meridian pathways? And is it keeping your adrenals and your kidney online for you can actually filtrate the metabolic waste that you're eating? That's all it's about, y'all. We can play the alkaline acid game all day and you won't win because you have to make it make sense. If you cannot make this simplistically make sense, then what are we talking about here? Show me anything in life that takes the use of energy that doesn't create a bad product from it. You put fuel in your gas tank right now, carbon dioxide is going to come out the tailpipe right now. Literally, right now. Right now. Everything in life creates a byproduct. It's called a manufacturing company. Why you think that they spend so much on getting rid of the byproduct of shit that produces hazardous waste? Why you think you have biohazardous fields? Y'all think that just popped up out of nowhere? No, that comes from the natural elements of earth being used. Natural gases being used create toxins and shit. It creates toxins. That's all the byproduct is. Your body do the same thing because your body is a part of nature and you mimic earth, y'all. So anytime you eat or you process something, there's going to be a toxic chemical waste that's produced by the functioning or the burning or the process of you utilizing natural energy that comes from earth. This is what you call acids. Shit is natural. You just got to get rid of it. And if your body can't eliminate it, that is not natural. If your body can't digest the things that created, that is not natural. If your body can't absorb the phytonutrients for the process of elimination, that is not natural. If your body can't utilize what you just absorbed, that is not natural. See, these are the unnatural things. All right, so the best thing to do for real, you need to be on an all fruit diet, and you need to be on a fruit diet high in grapes. I'll grow on a 30-day grape fast, and while you're on a 30-day grape fast, you need to be hydrating. So eat all grapes, and while you're eating all grapes, you need to be juicing. Juice you some apples, juice you some mangoes, juice you things like that that got a lot of water content in it, or you need to drink you a whole bunch of coconut waters. Now, you is extremely acidic, so I wouldn't eat more lipids like the coconut flesh of it because I have arginine amino acid in there, but just drink the coconut water. Stay away from the coconut flesh. Then for the scleroderma, which is the tightening of the skin, you're going to start seeing the skin loosening up once you start bringing H3O water constituents back into the tissues and bringing potassium monophosphate back into the tissues. And then for the Sjogrens, the drying of the eyes, that's going to happen again. Like once you start moving that lymph and once you get all that acids and that crystallization of that uric acid mixing with that calcium triphosphate from the mucous membrane trying to save the day. Once you break up all of that crystallization, once you break up all the acidosis, you're going to start moving properly again. And you're going to start seeing it when you check your urine and you're seeing that white dense settlement literally floating to the bottom or sinking to the bottom of that glass when you check your urine. That's all the metabolic acidosis that's been killing you. That's the reason why it's good to check your urine every other day when you're on my healing herbs and when you're on this different live it, not diet, but live it. Because now you're able to see all of the filtration and all the metabolic waste that your cells have been accumulating go to the bottom of that cup and glass. And this means that you're healing. Not only that, you're going to need my geogenetic therapeutic package level 3. I'm not going to tell you to get 1 or 2. You need 3. You need the entire 14-week protocol. And I think you need to get you at least 3 bitters, 3 packages of 3 bitters to be taking them every single day while you're on the protocol. What you're going to start to see is elimination is going to start to happen. You're going to start to see your skin opening up and you sweating and perspiring more. You're going to start to see stiffnesses and stuff that you locked up and bound now. You're going to start being able to move your wrist and stuff again. You're going to have a lot of pooping. They're going to call it diarrhea, but who cares? Pooping out all of that mucus and all of that mucinoid plaque that's stopping you from absorbing all the phytonutrients, that's going to get pooped out. And you're going to be urinating a lot because through urination is your salvation, because urination through salvation means that your kidneys are filtrating. And filtration is the salvation to any healing disease. I don't care what you're dealing with, whether we're talking about a tumor, a cyst, a sty, whether you're talking about cancer, HIV, sickle cell anemia, AIDS, all of these different diseases is due to a stagnated lymphatic system and due to acidosis. If we can get rid of the excessive acidosis and if our elimination system is open, that means any of the byproducts of us just living our regular life, we can get these things up out of our body by way of kidney filtration. There is no disease that can mess with you. Yeah, look, that's like you just said, Healthy Life 520, lymphedema. Notice the beginning word, lymph. It's all lymphatic stagnation. Yes, urination is salvation. We just had a brother. He's supposed to be doing a testimony, man. He's been on dialysis for 9 years. He's urinating again. He haven't urinated in 9 years. He's finally urinating again. And guess what he's been doing? He's been on an all berry diet. Nothing but berries. And being on nothing but berries, he's finally urinating again. Showing you that the berries and these oxygenators and these antioxidants and all the water that's already naturally occurring, H3O2, not H2O, but H3O2 that's inside of these berries have broke up all that coagulation in them nephrons of his kidneys, have got rid of all the acidosis in the kidneys. He is able to pee again after 9 years. I told him, you only got a month or two and you're going to be completely off dialysis. Completely off, because you know how to bring hydration back to the body. You know how to break up a coagulated and agglomerated lymphatic system, and you know how to get out systemic acidosis out of the body now. You got the keys to the kingdom. You can heal anything you want right now because you understand the fundamentals of healing. You understand the fundamentals of acids and base chemistry, of alkaline and base chemistry. You got it. You get it. You know up and down. You know as above, so below, inside out, as out within. You get the actual chemistry of black, white, male, female, God, the devil. You get chemistry. Once you get chemistry, can't nothing fuck with you when it comes to healing, y'all. And that's what I've been trying to teach y'all for the last 12 years. Just simple biochemistry. It's not hard, y'all. All this different Googleites and all these people regurgitating people that came before them. Start testing the information. Not knocking anybody, not knocking no healers, not knocking anybody that came before me. All I'm saying is this: to be a true healer and to be a true master of what you're teaching, you have to have the clinical trials and you have to have the hours, y'all. You got to get in the field. How can you call yourself an herbalist and you in the middle of the field and you can't even identify a damn plant? You're not an herbalist. How can you call yourself a healer and you don't have any healing testimonies? You're not a healer. See that you have to be these things and put in the work before you start claiming these names. And I'm saying all of us as healers, we just got to put in the work and put our hands and our feet to the plow to become that. Everybody out here saying they herbalists, everybody got herbs and no healing testimonies. Come on, man. And teaching our people the wrong information. It's so much wrong information out here. From people that don't even have testimonies. People don't have their own healing houses. People don't have none of these things. But teaching thousands and thousands of people the wrong information. Like, we got to get our minds right, family. We got to. We got to, family. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to put you on point, put you on game. And look, research and check all of my records and all of my testimonies is online. All you got to do is go to Facebook, type in Yaki Healing. You can go to Google and type in Yaki Healing testimonies. Cancer, herpes, all of them, diabetes, all of them going to pop up. And it ain't me saying it. It's people out of their own mouths showing how they healed, holding their diagnostic sheets up that the doctor gave them their prognosis on, then coming back after using RGO genetic herbal therapy and us, changing their diet to a living, and they don't suffer from these same illnesses and diseases no more. It's a difference. It's a difference, y'all. And that's the reason why I'm being shadow banned all across America right now, because we come to set the captives free. We come to heal our people. See that? It ain't about the money. We come to heal our people. That's what we come to do. How about meat after healing? Don't ever in your life eat meat, Ryan. Why would you want to do that? Your body and your physiology is not even made for that. Your physiological aspects and manifestation was made for fruits and fruits only, sometimes vegetables and a little seeds. Vegetables is made for the healing of the nations. Fruits was made for the consumption of the nations. Seeds was made to rebuild the bodies of the nations. So fruits, vegetables, and seeds is what you're supposed to be eating. And that diet even supposed to consist of at least 90% of fruits. 90% of it. You know what I'm saying? We just, once you get into your gnarly grains and your unutilized beans and stuff like that, all of that is for big mammals and stuff. If you look at how simplistic your digestional tract is, your hydrochloric acid setting, if you look at your stomach, how long your digestional tract is, you look at your teeth, how you was made to grind up things, you look at your fingers, how you don't have claws and talons, how you supposed to peel, you look at how you walk like a vertebrae and walk upright, meaning you supposed to reach up and grab your food from your tree, from high trees that grows the closest to the sun, that you're the most expanded consciousness, you're the most intelligent being other than octopuses and dolphins on planet Earth. You need to be eating high yielding energy food, and high yielding energy food is full of information, and this is the food that grows the closest to the sun. Only food that grows closest to the sun is fruit that grows on trees. Even some of your low hanging fruits is bad for you because they nightshades. And I'm talking about like your bell peppers and stuff like that. That's called nightshades. They have a lot of lectins in it. Lectins, Lectin. Look it up. So even your low hanging fruits, it's not that good for you. You see that? So true eating is the raw way. Raw is the way. Facts. Raw is the way. Go raw as much as you can possible. I understand a lot of us is addicted to eating cooked foods. I even have a problem every now and then. I get on cooked foods every now and then. I get it. But raw is the true way, y'all. Raw, and eat the highest in the sky. The higher you can go to get your food, the more intellectual and the more energetic it is, y'all. Point blank, period. Cooked alkaline. There's no such thing as cooked alkaline food. No such thing as cooked alkaline food. The moment that you put a flame or fire to your food, you change the biochemistry of the food. Now, would you deplete all of the electricity in the food? No, you won't. I'd be a liar if I said that. But is the food still alkaline? No, it's not. Because the moment you put fire to it, you change the chemistry of it. You doing what the stomach doing, which is creating acidosis out of the food. While the moment you put fire to it, you are bringing your stomach to the skillet. The stomach is what got highly active acids content inside the stomach content. So the moment that you put your food on a skillet and you start adding oil or what you call lipids to it or mucus, you literally creating your stomach on a skillet. The moment that you get vegetables that you call alkaline, which is in its alkaline state, right? I agree with that. When it's raw, it's in its alkaline state. The moment that you put it in the skillet and you turn the heat on, that's turning on the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. The moment that you add oil to it, that's adding this lipid-based system that we call mucus that come from the fungus of the stomach or the intrameum of the stomach inside of there. Then when you mix them together and cook it, this is what you call pepsinogen that happens in your stomach. This actually breaks down the chemical process of the food. Your stomach is supposed to do that, not a damn skillet. So you cook the food and you digest the food on the skillet, then you eat the food that's already digested and you wonder why you're not yielding any type of healing modalities from it because you already digest the food in your skillet. You already did it. What you think a skillet is? A skillet, a pan, utensils to flip it. That's why it's not, you don't see pots and pans in nature. You don't see a stove in nature. Ra cook your food. Shemesh Ra is what cook your food in nature. It's called the sun. Ra cooked food. You see what I'm saying? So once you get into the ideology of cooking food, it's impossible for the food to still be alkaline if you put a fire to it. Now, I will say this. There is alkaline foods that you cook that that's not so much as mucus forming as other foods. For instance, if you cook spelt, it's not acidic forming and mucus forming as wheat and barley would be, but it's still acidic because you cook the alkalinity out of it. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with your chickpeas and your garbanzo beans. You know, you cook that, it won't yield as much mucus or have a mucosal response like kidney beans and pinto beans would. But if you're putting fire to it, don't get it twisted. You are changing the molecular structure to the food. That's the reason why you cooking it in the first place, to change the molecular structure of the food. And look, I'm going to keep it real. There are certain fruits that actually yield better when you put heat to them. And that's why you see when you study the animal kingdom and you see gorillas and silverback gorillas eat certain berries and stuff, they wait for it's good and ripen and they wait until it's humid outside to start picking certain foods because they letting the sun cook it naturally. So I'm not extremist. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. There's certain foods that actually you cook the sugar back into it when you eat it. We learned that in slavery days. But make no mistake about it. If you put fire and if you put oil to your food and you cook these things together, it is no more alkaline. You have changed the chemistry from base to acid because you already took on the digestive process while it was in the skillet when this digestive process was supposed to go on inside of your digestional tract. Facts. If y'all got what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. What you think, Jam? Dropping too many Jews? You think they got me, bro? You think they understanding this?
Yes, sir.
I hope they is. You know they're going to, you going after the late teachers. You going after? No, I'm not. I love all my teachers. You're supposed to excel your teacher. All of my students, everybody that's on here learning from me, y'all supposed to be better than me. Y'all supposed to be better than me. Y'all supposed to learn, apply this knowledge, and be better than me. That's the whole point. If the student never gets better than the teacher, then that was a horrible fucking teacher. Facts. Facts. It's just time to elevate the knowledge. And again, this is coming from a person that have the healing testimonies, have healing homes, traveling around the world, healing thousands of people, healing hundreds of celebrities. I mean, like really doing the work, y'all. Putting in that work, real work. Like building communities, gathering the people, unifying the Aboriginal Americans, the Aboriginal Africans, unifying us globally, having healing seminars, packing out the seminar, pack every seminar and lecture, packing them out. So obviously, I think that I'm in a place to have my opinion be heard, and not only be heard, but to be really, really questioned and studied, because we out here really doing the work. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And shouts out to Elder Aris. Shouts out to him. He'll tell you the same thing that I've been spitting for the last 10, 12 years. He talk about how he don't drink water. He drink H3O2. He talk about how he don't cook food. He only eat his food raw. He talk about that too. He talk about it too. So, I mean, it's there. Shouts out to Danny. Shouts out to Danielle. Like, for real, she been raw. Shit, how long Danny been raw now, bro? About what? 200 days? She been going in. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the people that got the discipline and that's really been doing it. Shouts out to everybody. Like, shouts out to everybody that's really doing and putting in the work. Really doing and putting in the work. Like, straight up. That's it. May 7th, I am having a lecture in San Diego, California at the World's Beach Center. Make sure that y'all come out. Go on eventbrite.com. Click the link and get your ticket. It's called the Risen Black Messiah Alliance Conference Health Seminar. We bringing herbs. We doing mudras. We doing stretching, breath works, everything there. Make sure y'all check out www.yakiawaken.com to get your herbs. This is my only Instagram page. So if anybody have a page that's following y'all acting like they me, that's not me. I don't follow nobody but 4 people. This is my official Instagram page and my only Instagram page. Make sure y'all follow me on Yaki Awaken on my YouTube page. Yaki Hickman, Hickman on my Facebook page. We almost at 100,000 followers on Instagram. I am giving away a geogenetic level 3 package once I get that. So peace, y'all.